Ladies and gentlemen, lawmakers have reached a broad deal on gun control. We talked about this yesterday. Let's take a look at what bipartisanship for the sake of bipartisanship looks like. And before any motherfuckers say, congressional gridlock was avoided, this is a cause for celebration, oh my God. Like, first of all, we don't even have it yet. Okay? We don't know what the final bill is going to look like. Okay? We don't know any of that shit. Mitch McConnell has said, yeah, I'm glad that we reached a bipartisan consensus, but also didn't even say anything else until the bill is finalized. So if you think that, like, oh, there's 10 Republicans that are involved in this fucking bill, so like it's a lock, it's a definite, wait till they decide, actually, we just don't want to fucking work. We do not want to work. We decided we simply do not want to fucking work with the Democratic Party and then choose to fucking spoil it for no reason. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, what am I even saying at this point? This is just like kind of my job. This is the only thing I tell you. All right, let's watch.
We do have a lot of news to get to. The breakthrough on gun safety. People were marching across the country over the weekend in the wake of the spike in nationwide mass shootings.
As a bipartisan group of senators reached a deal on a package of measures that...
Dude, this is such fucking media bait. Like, it's like fucking selling lolicon outside of a fucking libertarian convention, okay? They're going to eat this shit up. The media loves bipartisan compromise as much as libertarians love, lolly porn, okay? Straight up. Well, I'm sorry. Is that too aggressive for me to start, at before even 12 p.m.? I'm just like hitting you with those fucking comparisons. It's the truth. Shut the fuck up.
That is limited in scope would still be the most significant federal legislation on the issue in nearly 30 years. Congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill with the latest. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning. And this deal is far more limited than what Democrats had hoped for. But after nearly 30 years of congressional inaction and another streak of violent mass shootings, a bipartisan group of senators said this time failure could not be an option.
This morning, a bipartisan breakthrough after nationwide calls for reform.
Gun control! Where do we want it? Now!
Senators announced a deal on gun safety.
Once the text is finalized, I will put this bill on the floor ASAP as soon as possible.
Thank you for describing what ASAP is. Dude, all of the fucking worst people are hyping this shit up. All of the worst people are hyping this shit up. Now, the part of me wants to admit and recognize and say, you know what? Yeah, this is the only legislation that's passed in the past decade on gun control. So, like, technically, it is a pivotal accomplishment. If you have nothing, then, like, a crumb seems good, right? But also at the same time, as I said on the BBC interview to the Oibrubs, like, this kind of compromise is not actually broad-reaching solutions, and simply just a little bit of bones, for everyone to just shut the fuck up. These meddling kids that constantly are like, ugh, God, give us something, anything. Okay, give us something, anything. So they're like, all right, we'll give you something. We'll give you like a little bit.
That Congress can quickly act to do something meaningful against gun violence.
In the wake of the Buffalo massacre that left 10 dead, and in Uvalde, where 19 children and 2 teachers lost their lives, 10 Republicans joining 10 Democrats, proposing to strengthen background checks, allowing juvenile records to be screened for gun buyers under 21, expand gun restrictions for convicted domestic violence abusers, funding for states to enact red flag laws to temporarily take guns away from people considered dangerous, and bolster school security and mental health programs. President Biden...
I just want to put a keyword out there. Funding for states to push for red flag laws means nothing. Also, not allowing... I love American politics because, like, a lot of good ideas that people might mistakenly assume we already have in place come back to the fucking legislative agenda, and you're like, wait, wasn't that like already a thing? For example, stopping domestic abusers from purchasing weapons is something that I already personally thought we had, right? Maybe you guys knew better, but I already thought we had that. It's like the fucking no chokehold ban. You know what I mean? Like for cops, when in the aftermath of the in the aftermath of the George Floyd protests, like there was 8 can't wait, right? And people were saying in the 8 can't wait, like Democrat-backed agenda, that one of the fucking talking points was putting a federal ban on chokeholds. And I was like, wait, don't we already have that? And it still didn't fucking pass, dude. That didn't even pass. And this is the same shit. It's like domestic abusers not being able to purchase weapons. Like, I thought you couldn't do that already, except that would disarm the police too much. So I think like they couldn't really go with that. You know what I mean?
Giving his stamp of approval, lawmakers were under immense pressure.
What is this fucking editing, dude? Look at the editing.
President Biden giving his stamp.
Bro, doesn't that look like a fan cam? I think my brain is so broken, dude. Like
his stamp of
nice editing on that one, GMA. You guys killed it. Yeah, little Biden fan cam. So yeah, Brandon already fucking said, look alive, Jack. Send that bill my way. I'll sign it. Why?
Approval. Lawmakers were under immense pressure to act. Thousands taking to the streets this weekend calling for change.
Stop the violence! Stop the violence!
With a deal in hand, Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn stating the tragedies in Uvalde and elsewhere cried out for action. And this morning, Parkland survivor David Hogg says this time may finally be different.
It makes me want to cry like tears of happiness. This is just a first step. It's not the last.
What? God, it's like, all right, I guess it's good then. No, this is good, boys. We got it. Pack it up. Pack it up. The media already is working with David Hogg. Shit's good now, okay? You say it's bad, fuck you. What more do you want, dude? Children to not be fucking murdered? What are you, some kind of pussy? Like, what do you want? Like fucking, like there are parts of the March for Our Life platform that I don't even agree with, like a fucking ban on AR-15s across the board. I think is not the smart solution. The smart solution in this circumstance is actually fucking making sure that there's heavy regulation and licensing. Like universal background checks is not even what I want. I want to go further than that. I want licensing for every gun. You have a gun, you have to do fucking you have to get a license for it. Especially because, like, I also don't think that banning the AR-15 is going to be a popular enough policy, considering how popular the gun is. Like, the AR-15 is more popular than every Democrat. Okay, let's be real. It's like trying to fucking ban the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what I mean? That gun is unfortunately way more fucking popular than like 90% of the Democratic Party. Okay, it's true. Democrats like shooting it. But good luck. AR-15 could win in a write-in presidential election 100%. So silly, just speaking nonsense here, licensing. I know, I'm just a silly Billy, okay? I'm just a fucking silly goose who thinks that we should, do licensing for guns and like do different classifications for different kinds of guns. And also have, character references and mental health evaluations before you can even get your hands on a gun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a silly Billy like that. I'm thinking like, these are things that we could do. These are fucking dumb ideas. I thought protesters don't have to make marketable laws and policy. Well, they don't, which is why I literally am... Are you really telling me that you think I have a fucking issue with March for Our Lives? I just spoke at a March for Our Lives. Clearly, I am offering them full-throated support. Like, yeah, no, I don't think protesters have to make marketable laws and policy. I agree. What the fuck? You guys are gonna get ha banned, by the way. I'm just letting you know, especially if you use it in situations like this. Like, it's getting way, way, way too fucking horny in the chat. Like, when I say full-throated support, you guys, like, immediately take it to, like, a weird sexual place. Like, community vibes are off across the board with the ha emote. Very quick. Very, very close to being banned. I'm letting you know. I'm just letting you know. It is very, very close to being banned. I know it's a joke. It's just pissing me off. It's annoying. Every time I say something, you want to make it sexual, it's going to get banned if you keep doing it. All right. You always do this. You cannot fucking control yourself, and you cannot control your urges. You know? You can only make, like, sexual jokes, and it's very weird. You turn everything sexual when you throw up the huh over and over again. When I'm trying to make an argument about, like, anything, especially in serious shit.
Senators have agreed on a framework, but this is far from a done deal. Senators will next have to draft this legislation. One Republican source telling me the details of this bill will be absolutely critical to making sure enough Republicans stay on board to get it across the finish line. Michael, they want to see the fine print.
Okay, whoa, what the fuck? I'm not trying to download the app. What is happening with this shit, dude?
I want to start by...
So, yeah, lawmakers on reaching a broad deal on gun control. Mitch McConnell came out and said, hold on one second, let's find this real quick. Mitch McConnell said, Mitch McConnell touts supported bipartisan product after Senate gun proposal was announced. He said he applauded the group of 20 senators who announced earlier in the day that they reached a framework on gun legislation, potentially. Welcome to womanhood, aka being sexualized for existing. Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking annoying when it's out of place. You know, I try to let it ride sometimes, but yeah, I do get. Anyway, let's continue. McConnell deputized Senator John Cornyn to negotiate with Chris Murphy and other Democrats on gun-related measures following a string of high-profile mass shootings, including a massacre at an elementary school in Cornyn's home state. Now, let me tell you something. One of the most interesting parts about this this bipartisan compromise is that, like, the majority of the Republicans that are engaging in it, they're all retiring. American politics have gotten to a point where it's like you just have to wait for like 10 Republicans to retire so you can get legislation through, which, by the way, is still not guaranteed. Okay? Like, almost all of the fucking Republicans that are on this, like, reasonable, but, like, not even broad sweeping, not even actually, like, you know, meeting the fucking bare minimum of what is a necessity at this point. Okay? And even then it's like, yeah, we have to fucking, yeah, we're retiring, so that's why. Or we just won our re-election and we're like pretty safe. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? We need to retire members at 70. Dude, I would melt congresspersons if it were up to me. Like, legislation wise, like, you can be like the fucking, you know, all-powerful God Congress member, okay? But you get melted at the age of 70. Like, if you're still in office. Not even 70, 65. Fuck it. Yes, I know that hurts Bernie as well, but, you know, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Just like, oh, you want to keep being... Oh, Dianne Feinstein, you want to do like 50 years in Congress? Sorry, we're going to melt you, okay? I would put like one of those fucking things, one of those like scanners that you walk through. You walk through the halls of Congress after the age of fucking 65, you just... You get zapped. I've been watching too much fucking Raised by Wolves too. I think like when the shrieker goes ah, and then like people explode, and it's just like it's just like a fucking explosive cloud of like red mist and goop. That's what you should do. That's what we should do for Congress people in legislation if they still want to be in Congress after 65. I would do it boys style personally. That's a good one too. Just rewatched Boys episode 1 or season 1 with my brother. That's another good one. Yeah, boys style body explosions. Anyway, but we can't do that because there's no justice, okay? Any bill would need 10 Republicans to sign on. That many GOP lawmakers signed the announcement released on Sunday. McConnell said he hoped the lawmakers would come to a consensus on what he called a bipartisan product. I hope to continue to hope their discussions yield a bipartisan product that makes significant headway on key issues like mental health and school safety, respects the Second Amendment, earns broad support in the Senate, and makes a difference for our country. McConnell said on Sunday. Pat Toomey, who's been involved in negotiations, said last week he hoped for half of his Senate Republican colleagues would vote for the potential bill. No, they're not. They're not going to do that. Yeah, you will necromancer them. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll pass it. Maybe they'll pass it. Maybe they won't. But or maybe it was Matthew McConaughey. What? But ultimately, the bill itself is not. The bill itself is only significant because of the otherwise inactive Congress on this issue. Okay, the only reason why you would consider this to be a signature or a pivotal achievement in terms of gun control is because there has been no achievement in terms of gun control, no legislation in terms of gun control since like the assault weapons ban, I would say. So, you know, that's where it is. And also every state legislature is already like working to make it so that like you literally have to have a gun on you at any given moment. Like I feel like the Ohio state legislature is going to pass like a new bill. They already passed constitutional carry, okay, open carry. I feel like they're going to pass like while this is happening at the congressional level at the Senate, you know, state legislatures are passing like bills where it's like it's illegal not to have a gun on you. So like if you don't have a gun on you, we're going to pass like a dueling provision where if you don't have a gun on you at any given moment, like the person that has a gun can kill you legally. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're at in America at this point. So excuse me for being a little black-pilled. And hey, if you want to do something about it, take it up to the Supreme Court. Oh, wait, you can't because the Supreme Court is fucking psychotic. You know? Like, you're going to have, like, Idaho being like, Ohio just enabled PvP. Well, we won't stop there. Turns out, actually, it's the caught lacking bill, okay? Well, Idaho has passed new legislation in the state legislature where if you have a larger caliber, that means you get to win by default. You can kill the other person legally, okay? Even if both people are armed. Even if both parties are armed, the person with the larger caliber gets to win the PvP across the board. And yeah, see, dude, look. A new Ohio law cuts the training required for teachers and staff to carry guns in schools to a maximum of 24 hours, down from 700. Fucking gang shit, dude. That's what I'm talking about, dude. America unlocked PvP, dude. Speed up that gun to classroom pipeline, baby. We need to promote self-defensing yourself against fetuses. No fair. That's some pay-to-win bullshit. Oh, yeah. Here's what we did need in Ohio. teachers to be as like little teachers to get as little training as cops on the issue. Okay, that's what we needed. There you go. Progress, baby. Ohio makes it easier for teachers to carry guns to schools. A new law requires educators and other school staff members who want to carry a weapon to undergo no more than 24 hours of training, compared with more than 700 hours previously. While employees for years have been allowed to carry guns on the school grounds with the consent of the local school board, the Ohio Supreme Court ruled in 2021 that same basic peace officer training as law enforcement officials or security officers who carry firearms on campus, entailing more than 700 hours of instruction. That ruling, Mr. DeWine said on Monday, had made it largely impractical for Ohio school districts to allow staffers to carry firearms. I wonder why. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Dude. That made it too impractical for teachers to fucking do constitutional carry, baby. What did M. HUD say?